Alright, y'all. I figured it was time for me to finally sit down and talk about this. By the way, Mark Wheeler, Wheeler Outdoors. Lake Anna, KBF Virginia Bass Challenge Tournament recently had, and yeah, I didn't perform. That's just being honest. Made some mistakes, and it cost me a tournament. Really did. I potentially had, fish to put me in the top 3, and I lost them all. Only weighed in, or only measured 2 fish, yeah, it was tough. So basically drove down Friday. The tournament was on Saturday. Drove down Friday, checked out a bunch of boat ramps, checked out the conditions. Super windy. It was storming and everything else, but I needed to find a spot that was going to be pretty much out of the wind as much as possible, far enough away from the other major boat ramps that maybe most of the people wouldn't be trying to get there, kind of thing, as well as staying away from as many kayakers as possible. And I thought I did that. There's a boat ramp on Lake Anna next to the Cove restaurant and thrift store and stuff like that. Highly recommend going there. Great little bar, restaurant, really cool place. But yeah, just didn't do it. Got there Friday, like I said, puddled around a little bit around there, and I figured this was going to be it. I was catching them on spinner baits, right on points, or having them swipe at it. I had the hook turned down, and thought this was going to be it. In between storms, cut them on top water, or had them blow up on top water, I should say. And I was thinking, I've got this. This front's going to move through. I know exactly what they're going to do. Saturday started, and I went straight to the spot I wanted to go to. Set up. Had about 5 minutes to go before lines in. And I'm kind of floating there, and I'm, relaxing, drinking my coffee, doing all the things I need to do to get ready to kick this thing off. And yeah, it just felt different almost. The water was a little different, a little cloudier than. Atlanta's pretty clear to begin with, but this was a little dingier almost, per se, and I could figure that from the storms and the wind, because the wind was howling. But the bait wasn't there like it should have been. That day, Friday, I had noticed a bunch of shad following my bait, and the point I was on was the one that I saw the most shad around. So I was thinking that was where the shad were going to be. But the shad were busting, in 25, 30 foot of water, not on the shoreline like I wanted them to. And I spent the first 3 hours throwing everything I had, except for finesse rigs like a shaky head. Swim baits, square bills, spinner baits, all the things that you throw during a shad spawn, not realizing that the shad had moved from that point to another one, literally 100 yards away, and I didn't capitalize on it until it was already too late. And actually, what made me capitalize on it was a case of the bubble guts. Made it in the back of this pocket. Fishing it, thought I was doing good, came around, just wasn't finding them. I had one shad spawning on a tree limb that was picking in the ground. Nothing was around it. And then it hit me. That coffee I was drinking before the tournament started to work, and I'm like, oh, I know where there's a bathroom. It's right around the corner. Boss, now I gotta say this, y'all. Thanks to Jackson Kayak. I've been with them since 2012. I can't say enough about the folks there. And they got me a whole new drive system for my Kusa FD, all new prop. This new prop 2 is amazing. The new Flex Drive E is going to be amazing. But with this new prop, it's truly awesome. Highly recommend it. And there's going to be a really good price point as well. But more on that on another video. But coming into it, you know, went to the spot, jumped out, used the bathroom, I came off, and I jumped in the kayak, and I'm going, okay, I could go pedal back to that spot and try to get him again. Or, I'm just going to take the hat off because you can't see my face, I'm all dark and gloomy. Stick it on my big hat back here. Or, I can head to this other point and just throw around and see what happens. And that's what I did. Went to that other point, and I made a cast with the swim jig, hit the water, and I started working it right next to this breaking wall. And I'm working, all of a sudden the line goes dunk, and started taking off, set the hook, started reeling in. It was about a 14-inch bass, but it would have been my first. Get in, get close to the boat, it jumps off. I know I should have netted it, but just a little 14-inch fish. Still 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. I got this. Well, it lit me in on something. That the shad spawn was on the tail end because I threw around that 100 more times. Couldn't get him to bite. Looked for other signs. Followed it in. Couldn't get a bite. Couldn't get a bite. Switched to my white chatterbait because that is one of my big confidence baits for Anna. Threw it in there. Burning it. And as I was burning it, I was actually drifting into a tree. So I put the rod down, used the paddle, backed out of it. The moment I picked up the rod and took 2 hand turns of the crank, I realized that my line was way over here. Set the hook. My first fish was a 12 or 14-inch fish. I was like, oh, shad spawn's back here in the pockets. Work the pocket, 5, 6 times. You know, all different moving baits, shad colored baits. Wasn't getting anything. Confidence is dying right now. I'm like, this is awful. I was like, did I miss this completely? Because usually what happened is there'll be a shad spawn, the bass will put the feed bag on and feed. And then for like 4 or 5 hours, just be lazy because they're got full bellies. It's like after Thanksgiving dinner, you want to take a nap. Same thing with bass. I'm like, oh no, I've missed the opportunity. And I'm seeing everything on the Tourneyx site. Again, tourneyx.com, check them out, awesome stuff. You know, guys are catching them. I've got one on the board. Then I realized, I scroll down to where I'm at. I'm like in 38th place. I'm like, wait a second. I've got one itty bitty bass. I'm in 38th. A lot of guys aren't doing as well as doing as well. 100 and almost 120 anglers. So yeah, I had that in my mind. So met another angler as we were passing by. And he's like, yeah, I just caught a 17-incher on a Nico rig. And I was like, really? He's like, yep, right at the base, right against the shoreline, underneath the dock. And I was like, post spawn, immediately. So what happens is, and I'll lift over here and I'll show you a dock. It's just a stock dock photo. Okay, you'll notice that right next to the shoreline is that dock, like walkway. Okay, in post spawn, early post spawn, and even late post spawn, or just anywhere in that post spawn where bass is still guarding fry. The majority of your bucks and some of your females are going to be shallow, protecting the fry. The females aren't necessarily protecting the fry, but they're close enough that they can capitalize on those. Just want to make sure I was still recording. Capitalizing on those species that are eating the fry. Okay, that's why sometimes you'll catch a small bass, throw it back in there because you still see that fry ball, right? Work it near it, and all of a sudden you catch a much larger bass, a pound, 2, 3, 4 pounds heavier, and that's because that female is taking advantage of that. They're staying in shallow because it's like putting out corn for deer, same premise, and that's what they're using. And in that situation, he said he caught him on Nico. I put everything else down. And I went straight to a Bull Bay rods, 7.4, 7.6 spinning rod with 12-pound Sunline fluorocarbon okay, to a Mitchell reel. It's what cheap one I bought at Walmart. Just was turning some other reel locked up on me. Did pretty well. I mean, what can I say for a $25 reel? But one thing I did put on was a shaky head. That one right there. Okay. It's a Tommy head. He doesn't make them anymore, unfortunately. He's changed his life and he's doing great things. Hey, Tommy. I hope you're enjoying Alaska, buddy. But it's a Tommy head jig with the 4/0 and 1/8 ounce. Okay. The cat's still here. Thought she was about to pounce on me because I've got something wiggly in my hand. Evil cat. Anyway, with a green pumpkin trick worm, finesse worm, okay, the little 6-inch one, with the tail dipped in chartreuse. And that's when I started catching fish. Now, I only weighed in 2 fish. Putting that down. And those 2 fish was the first one I caught on the chatterbait. Another one I caught on a dock that I had worked before. Cat. I had worked before with different baits and didn't catch anything in that spot. Threw this in there. Hello. She wants to be in the video too. I threw this in there, and it was kind of cool how this bank went. It was real hard end bank, okay, real high angle. Dropped down to about 8.5 feet, about 5 feet off the bank. And most of my hits came on the fall. Now most guys, when they rig a shaky head, okay, want to rig it as straight as possible. You know, if you can, yeah, there we go. See how it's pretty darn stinking straight? So it falls straight. I don't do that. Okay. I rig mine when I'm really working the fall, or when I want to work the fall, per se. There it is. Is like that. Okay. See how that is? And that makes the bait actually spin like a good tube or fluke will. It'll spin down. And that's when I get most of my hits. And that's what happened. Threw it in there. It started spiral. Launched that line. It jumped. Came tight. Set the hook. Landed a 15-incher or 14-incher. First one was 12. The second one was 14. I was like, oh yeah, now I've figured it out. Fished around that dock. Went to the next dock. Flipped in there. Same kind of spot. Same kind of situation. Bait was falling. Watched the line jump. I set the hook. This is a big fish. 20 some odd inches. I'm bringing it in and bringing it in. Scooped him up. Yeah, set up my board. Got my phone. And I'm trying to unlock my phone. My phone won't unlock. For whatever reason, my phone decided to get stupid. And I'm sitting there 3, 4, 5 minutes. And granted, I have the fish in the net in the water. But I'm panicking. I can't get my phone unlocked. I've restarted and started. I've done all this stuff to get it to work. Finally, me trying to get things done, I'm not paying attention. My net starts to slide down and I angle over. Bass jumps out. Alright, the bait already fell out of its mouth. I was like, okay. And of course, immediately after it happened, my phone unlocks. I'm like, alright, no problem. I figured it, you know, I kind of figured something out. Go around about the 5th or 6th dock after that, hook into a 19-incher. I'm like, oh, I got this now. In the net, same thing. Phone doesn't want to unlock. I'm like, I was like, you know what? I've got the pattern now. I can run this. And then there's 3 other pockets close by that I can, or 2 other pockets close by I can hit that I can do replicate this on. And get around to the next 2 or 3 docks, catch an 18-incher, put it on the board, grab my phone. Now my phone will not turn on. And I'm going, this is the worst thing in the world right now. I literally have almost, over 55 inches of fish, potentially, that I can't measure on top of my 26, 27 inches. Would give me 77 some odd or plus inches, almost 80 inches. And I'm thinking, this is awful. Caught 4 more fish throughout the day. Just couldn't get them to, to get their photo. I did get one where it unlocked. Go to take the photo, and I'm listening to the thing, and I look at my phone, and my phone is taking photos of the sky again. It's happened to me before early this year. Hit the button. As I'm hitting the button here, the fish flops off. So little mistakes like that cost me the tournament. It was a hard fishery to fish, and that's God's honest truth. But that is Anna. It is pressured constantly. Every weekend there's a tournament of where you could have up to 300 guys beating those docks up. Those fish see a lot of baits, a lot of things throughout the year, and it's really hard to get them. And it's not a really large lake, to be honest with you, compared to like a Smith Mountain or a lot of the, like a Kerr or something like that, where it's so large. And it's pretty small, in the big boat world, you know what I mean? So that was a pretty a hard thing. Cat's chasing after a fly or something. So yeah, that was my Jimmy Jank. Things I'm going to do differently. I'm going to carry an extra camera with me. Because you can take hard photos in the KBF validated forms. And you hand them directly to the tournament director to upload. Kind of thing. As long as they know about it. But in all realization, I'm pleased with my... besides the technical difficulties, if I could do it again, those things I would change. Do a couple other things differently, but if I would have had the performance of getting things right, then I could have potentially won. Now that I'm thinking about it, and that's tournament fishing. You gotta be careful. You never know when you're gonna jack up. But with that being said, next tournament is May 11th, local tournament, Virginia Kayak Trail. Can't wait for that on Little Creek Reservoir, down here in Virginia Beach. And then gonna fish the Shenandoah. Never fished the Shenandoah before. I fished the James River and other rivers like that, and I have no idea what I'm in for. I've got a cat that's chasing after my trick worm. Stop it. So I might vlog those. That might be fun. We'll see. But with that being said, y'all, introspective 2020, however you want to look at it. Lake Anna KBF tournament. I will do better next time. I know that. Always improve. Always get better. Especially in tournaments. It's been a few years, but I'm getting back. I'm getting the feel again. I'll win one this year. I know it. So with that being said, folks, have a great night. I'll catch you later. Please like, subscribe, ding that bell, all that other happy hoo-ha. Yeah, thank you so much. And whoa, what was that? Someone just hit my garage door and set the cat about 1,000,000 miles in the air. It was awesome. That being said, next time watching the cat lose its mind, get out there, go fishing. What else do you got to do? Have a great night, y'all.